Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2 here today on the channel. We're back with episode 13 of my DEI Divide Et Impera Spartan campaign. Here today, we're going to continue on with our wars in the east. We're going to be declaring war upon the Kingdom of Armenia. If you haven't gone and watched the last episode, highly recommend you do. We managed to deal with the Seleucids, and there's a couple of more sort of major factions in and around us in the east. Armenia, the Dacians, and Axum to the south. And then what I'm going to do, once I finish them all off over the next couple of days and episodes, we're going to march west to fight the Roman Empire. So hope you guys like the sound of it. Okay, so hopefully the Armenians give us a bit more of a challenge compared to the Seleucids. They only had one and maybe two full stacks rolling around. The Armenians have far less territory, and they have far numerous forces. They've actually got a lot of decent units as well. A lot of heavy cavalry and fantastic generals. Check out this guy, he's got one eye. So they've also got Tyros as well, which is where a lot of their trade's flowing through. So we've got most of our armies in the far east. Up in the north, we have four full stacks heading towards Dacia, and we'll play a battle over there eventually. Down in the south as well, we're still continuing to fight these African tribes. We want to try and get the entirety of Ethiopia. We want to try and get that gold down there as well. And then I guess what we'll do, we'll send those Ethiopian armies sort of to head to North Africa, and then the Dacians sort of into Italy. Oh! Okay, so I've declared war upon Armenia, which is fine, but the Romans have broken their alliance with me. Wow. Okay, I know we're unreliable, but I don't mind doing that. Well, that's the decision. The Romans, cowards, wouldn't want to go to war with the Armenians. Well, I guess we sort of made them do it, I guess. We made them break the pack. We already are the most probably treacherous faction in the game. So what I'll do is we'll try and seize some territory firstly, and then we'll play a battle against one of their armies in the open field. Okay, so we're pushing into their territory here. So we've only got one piece here. Okay, we can't use most of their buildings, unlike the Seleucids. Yeah, so we've still got pretty good relations with them. 120. We've got a lot of pacts with them, expansionists, yeah, we might have to come back and negotiate with them again. Okay, back in the Armenian war. So we've got an army to the north in Sinop, which we should keep an eye on. It's just a little bit annoying. I couldn't wait for that army to move down south. So it might actually take Trebizond up in the north. We've got a lot of spies hanging about, so let's try and poison some wells and do some military sabotaging. And we'll try and get line of sight where we can. So we've got one army here. I think that's the Armenian king. Then they've got another general here as well. So that's all their territory. It's just here. So they've probably got 4 or 5 provinces. Okay, that's probably the king's army. That's got a better build though. And we have King Arius there. A lot more cavalry in this one. Look, you know what? Even though the king's on the other side, we're going to have a better fight with King Arius here of Sparta. He's got the better army build. This is actually essentially my Legion 1. This is my best army. And they've got a lot more heavy cavalry. Look at this, 6 heavy cavalry. 7 technically. 6 being the sort of heavy armored cataphractari. So we've got gold chevron Cretan archers. We've even got some silver chevron Egyptians. We have 1 unit of African elephants and another ballista unit as well. We have some Egyptian axemen as well. Most of the hoplite and pike makeup is Hellenic and Perioikoi. And we've got some other auxiliaries. So what I'm going to do with King Arius is we'll set up a hoplite / pike formation. We'll drop the phalanx. We'll invert the flanks, and we'll try and allow our gold chevron Cretan archers and the elephants to do most of the work. So we're actually not favoured to win this one. Look at that. The balance of power is very much in their favour. But this should be a good one. First real test against the Armenians. This is what I sort of expected Persia to sort of be. Because those heavy cavalry are going to be really hard to sort of deal with. We'll drop the king back. But guess what? 13 episodes in, King Arius is still hanging about, which is quite crazy. I tend to have my faction leaders not last this long. Could you imagine if he lasts the entire campaign? To see the conquest of... and the reconquest of sort of Alexander's empire. And the Romans, hopefully. So, although we're attacking them at the end of the day, we do have skirmisher and artillery supremacy. They're probably going to be able to close the distance and charge against us. But here is the Spartan general's bodyguard. And here he is. Let's zoom in and have a look at him. King Arius. King of the Far East. Conqueror of Egypt. Sacker of Mesopotamia. And commander of Greece. So, we've got some pikes here taking up the right flank of the army build, but here are the Armenians. Fiercely independent. They get a lot of huge morale buffs, but they've got some fantastic heavy cavalry coming in here. Very heavily armoured. Sort of a cataphractari or cataphractor unit, and there's a lot of those. 6, not including the medium unit they've got and the general's unit as well. They do have additional reinforcements coming from over here. Oh, that's me. Oh, yeah, right, that's the garrison. I was like, who's that? Enemy coming on our right flank. Nah, it was someone else. Okay, so we'll go with ammunition, flammable ammunition rounds. We'll charge my elephants in to try and hit their infantry, but they might just go straight at... or they might be able to go through those skirmishers. They are not very heavily armoured, these elephants. So we'll just try and get them into the infantry. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Because their cavalry is probably going to rip through me. Okay, so it looks like the Armenians are going straight into the pike wall. Oh my god, you love to see that. But they have charged headstrong into my units. I guess, why would the AI do that? Like, honestly. Does it not calculate in DEI that it gets huge buffs from that position? Because that is just insane, going head on into pikes like that. Maybe it's the ineptitude or the foolishness of the Armenian commander, but that heavy cavalry I was banging on about is doing a lot better on my flanks, but definitely not charging straight in. Reinforcements-wise, I guess we'll just grab all those infantry, right, and we'll just cluster them together, chuck them about here, and then we'll put the archers behind them. I don't expect them to do too much. Okay, so we've got some auxiliaries here. Nabatean and Egyptians can flank, but hold on to your pikes. Steady on, lads. Ooh-ah. Ooh, Spartans, prepare for glory. Alright. I'm liking this battle a lot. We're trading back and forth. The heavy cavalry's coming on in. And the Armenian front line is clashing with our own. We'll drop a war cry here if we can. They are trying to flank me quite well. Lucky I've got those auxiliaries here, but we just need to push them in. So. Come on. Okay, I'm going to have to get this general to go further back, even though I was trying to get him forward. Heavy shock cavalry, yeah. The Armenians have a couple of amazing units. We're going to have to send in the general's bodyguard. Go on, Spartans. Get stuck into it. Come back with your shield. Or on it. So there's the settlement further back in the distance. My elephants have done... well, they just haven't done too much. They're just being sort of taken down here. They were very softened up by that cavalry charge, and then the skirmishers couldn't do too much. They're not the best elephants we could have gotten. Basically, yeah, $1 shop elephants. They're not like the heavily armoured Syrian ones that you can get. Like, even the Seleucids had better elephants than us. Just trying to get some shots off here with my ballista, but I'm missing too much, so I'm going to abandon that. Their cavalry is still causing me a bit of a problem here. Oh, excuse me. So, we're getting a bit better. Wow, we've actually really swung it back about 70% in our favour now. Yeah, auto-resolving with this I don't think would have been the play. Definitely needed to be played. I think that auto-resolve was maybe a little bit deceiving. So first big blow against the Kingdom of Armenia. Seems to be coming up all Spartan. But yeah, as my... Which I found interesting is, as I started declaring war wars against factions in the east, my reliability rating went down quite a bit. So the Armenians actually broke their military pact with me. So if I betrayed the Romans, went all the way west, and left the Seleucids and the Armenians, I probably would have been betrayed by them anyway. So we'll bring peace to the Middle East, in the Far East, and then we'll head on our way to Rome. Okay, let's try and bring down their bodyguard unit. Look at that, high sun in the sand dunes. The Spartans are carving through them. And once we sort of head back over westward, we're going to be able to get, once we have our armies get back to Greece finally, after being years in the east, we're going to be able to get some thorax and more ethnic Greek units, because those populations have been replenished. Because as the empire is now stretched, that's what I love in DEI, as you sort of stretch out and go far away from your core territories, your army rosters reflect the regions you conquer. Because even now we've got Nabatean and some Egyptian spear axes and archers just helping us out, along with Perioikoi Hellenic pikes. You'd think there'd probably, even if this was to happen in real life, there'd probably be only a certain amount of ethnic Spartans anyway, because it takes so long to train them. You'd think the Spartan population would boom, but we're sort of turning into the ruling class, you know what I mean, of the Greek world. Like, we're the elites, and we have the sort of ethnically similar Greeks sort of below us. We're quite a fascist kingdom, aren't we, at the end of the day? Oh! What was that? Why did that animation stop as that guy copped a spear in the chest? Got knocked off his horse. Crikey. So, the Armenians in the first battle have bitten the dust big time. That's rather unfortunate for them. Yeah, not much you can do when a surprise attack comes at you like this. But to be fair, they broke the first technically signed treaty with me. We had a reason. We got a casus belli to go after them. I don't actually know about this Armenian territory, even if it's that profitable or whatever. I think the Seleucids was a bit more valuable in Mesopotamia and Antioch. Yeah, because I wouldn't think that any of these Armenian cities would be on the scale of Antioch or Babylonia. So King Arius still kicking on, mid-60s now. Deployed 5,635, only lost 400, and we smashed the finest Armenian army we could find in range. They deployed 3,700. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, Cretan archers did quite well. The Egyptians' Silver Chevron didn't do too well. Only 53, really. Well, I guess that's not too much of a difference, because one of those Cretans got about 70. I was talking smack about the elephants, but they got 95 kills. For how much they cost and how little armor, I guess that's not too bad. Could have been better. Ballista, 139. And the Spartans that had to swing around against the cavalry got 98, which is cool. And then the rest of our infantry held well. One of those pikes copped a bit of a battering, even though that heavy cavalry charge on in probably knocked out about 40% of that pike unit. They held firm. And thankfully for me, the AI didn't fully optimize their use of the Armenian heavy cavalry. So unfortunately we lost too many elephants. They're now gone. But now testing them out, they probably weren't that good anyway. So we'll quickly run down the remaining stragglers here and destroy the Armenian army. So there goes one. So we've got a lot of armies still here. We've got like 8 in operation. We must have like, I don't know, nearly 16 armies, you'd think. Okay, so let's surround and get rid of the Armenian king. We've got 3 full stacks around here. Yeah, so I would have been able to bring in 3 if I was going to play this one. Although the Armenian king's down here, which is a notable battle to fight, we would have just absolutely swarmed him, eh? So we'll just bring everyone in to make sure we save as many lives as possible. So we're actually going to be able to bring in another army there, yeah, 3. So yeah, there wasn't even that many heavy cavalry, or maybe that would have been harder because they basically threw that battle charging on into pikes anyway. But I had to sort of pick one I wanted to fight. So there goes the Armenian king. Armenia has nearly already fallen. So that's 2 full stacks destroyed in quite quick succession. So we'll send these 3 armies north to try and take their capital. And then we'll chuck more in support as well. Yeah, I don't know why they were in my territory, even though they broke the pact with me. So Edessa is under our control. Right, back down in Tyrosh, we have to retake it. Which is annoying because the Egyptians took it, and then the Armenians took it. So there was a short stint of Spartan rule in Tyrosh. We'll come back to Spartan ways shortly, you'd think. Okay, I'm going to end the turn here. And I'm going to see how the Armenians react. Because they still have 2 pretty decent armies in range of my military forces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 full stacks here. So then, I'm just going to calculate what we wait. So there's 4. Oh, they've actually attacked me here. Okay. Yeah, so we've got 15 armies in total. I'm going to have to retreat, actually. They want to give chase. I guess this is the other king that swarmed in. Oh, we've been attacked. Where have we been attacked? Where is this? Because Trebizond's further south. It might be Sinop. Yeah, because that one-eyed freak was hanging around here. Alright, let's take... Yeah, they've sacked it. Okay. Surprised they didn't take it. Alright, welcome back to the top of the turn. So the Armenians didn't react too much. They marched out from their capital. They've actually overextended themselves, pushing down here in the end. Okay, so... I could afford it, just to be a little bit honourable, but... There's no honour among thieves at the moment. We want to try and seize their territory. Okay, now they're pulling back towards their garrison, that's fine. Okay, so... Okay, what army's got the movement? So I guess we... Oh, hang on. No, we're not going to be able to bypass it. So what I want to try and do is try and divide and conquer the garrison and the army outside, ideally. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. So then we can get rid of this full stack with ease. So it's actually worth retreating and giving a false charge, because then we can just smash this full stack. Because we just outnumber them so much. And now we can probably seize the Armenian capital with ease. There we go. Because I think we had their sort of historical capital further back into towards the Caucasus. Alright, so the Armenian capital is now fallen, and we've nearly got their entire province. So we might actually be able to wrap the war up against them today. It just depends how far One-Eyed Pete does in the west. I didn't catch his name. The Armenian with one eye. Okay, so we've got some rebels here. Nothing too hard to deal with. We'll continue north to Trebizond. But we should be able to take another Armenian province here. Close victory of that one. That's all I like about DEI. Sometimes the auto resolves can be quite harsh. You do get punished for auto resolving. But as a YouTuber, sometimes you just have to. Otherwise, this series would go on for 120 episodes, and I don't have time for that. I only like to sort of play battles I find interesting. Okay, that one might be. Depending if we get some more reinforcements in. Okay, so, I guess we'll get Arrhaeus to give chase, and we'll bring more guys up. Alright, let's continue on. Okay. So, Sinop has been attacked again during the end turn phase. We might actually lose it this time after they sacked it, which is interesting. Yeah, because we took too much of their territory, they needed to ground themselves here a bit. Okay, so, welcome to the top of the turn, 246 BC. Tyrosh is still under siege. I'm going to have to bring another army over here to help out in the offensive. So, that should be their last coastal territory down near the Levant. Okay, that's now taken. So, we've secured Salamis, Tyros, and Jerusalem in the one province. I'll go with food, because I always tend to have food problems in this game. It's mostly Hellenic, but I guess we'll go with the research buff there. We don't need a religious building there technically. Oh my god, okay, so we've got some more rebels popping up. Just because we're sacking their territory. So what's that now? 2 territories left? Maybe? Because they retook Sinop, eh? We'll finish off these rebels and then we'll move our... Oh, it's further about. Alright, back up in the north. What's going on? Okay, we can get more units here. The thing is, we outnumber them 8-1, so... It's not unsurprising that we're able to wrap them up all here today, probably. So we'll get rid of Trebizond. No need to play that once that reinforcing army came in. Right. And... We've nearly got the entire region of Bithynia and Pontus back firmly under our control. Even... Trebizond to Nicomedia is technically the same province, really? It stretches quite wide, that's why I'm curious. So if we move King Arius up there, what are the odds? Okay. That's like 80% in our favour. It's because he sacked the garrison. So we'll get rid of One-Eyed Pete here. And is that the Armenians gone? Yay! Yep. She's all over Red Rover. That was quite cool. That was quite a cool war. Had a couple of decent armies. Tactically on the campaign map, we just outplayed them. But there was a little bit of maneuvers. They actually played quite well in some areas. Pushing in, taking Sinop, and I guess they put the pressure on us charging out. They just never got back to the settlement in their capital. Alright, back down in the south. We'll send these armies down to deal with Axum. And you know what? I'm going to end the video here, because what we'll do is we'll play this battle against Dacia at the start of the next, and then so after episode 14, episode 15, if my calculations are correct, we should have the war with the Roman Empire. But here is the Spartan Empire. We do have territory in Syracuse and Massalia, so we could maybe launch an attack from there if we really want to. But I think we'll sort of push a decent amount of armies to the north. We might even head over from Syracuse and Epirus. We do need to sort of seize North Africa simultaneously as the Italian peninsula. Our military alliance has been broken with the Romans, because they broke it, which is interesting. So we can't actually see how many territories they have, or armies to be exact, but it's probably similar to ours. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Gonna end the video here. Hope you've enjoyed this quick little short war against the Armenians. And stay tuned for episode 14 coming out soon, and we'll deal with the Dacians in the north. And then I think I'm safe. I think I don't feel too threatened against the sort of border territories. Like, there's not any major factions left sort of in the Far East and to the north that I'm too worried about. But we will have to keep some military assets just to, like, it's just logical. If we're sending thousands of men, probably 15, 14 of our armies, we will need to keep some auxiliary units and armies, probably in Persia and maybe in Egypt, just to quell any revolts, because I don't think I want to go any far east. We've sort of defeated the Persians. Only the Parthians are over there now and their puppets, and we've sort of got relations with them. But I think now we're at the stage where I feel confident enough with a war with Rome in a couple episodes, because it's been a while, but we are actually on the sort of same power level as the Romans. Like, I think we've got a good chance of beating them. If we had, say, 10-8 armies against their 14-12, I think we'd probably lose. Because the Romans, they have aggressive, high-octane attacking units with their melee attack. They've got fantastic swordsmen, while we sort of are better on the defense. So an offensive, aggressive war doesn't play into our faction's strength. So hopefully we can counterbalance that by being a little bit sneaky and shrewd and surprise attacking them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to end the video here. Stay tuned for episode 14 coming out soon. And I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. But thanks, guys. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.